Hi, this is Erica from momprepares.com. Today we are going to talk about cooking and using cast iron, how to properly care for and clean your cast iron. The first thing I want to talk about is using utensils. When I'm cooking in cast iron, I always use like a plastic spatula, or if I'm going to be stirring something, I might use one of these wooden or bamboo things. You don't want to use metal because it can scratch all the beautiful seasoning off of your pans and then things will stick. So I'm going to just check these sandwiches right here, and just about done. Okay, now that we have our sandwiches off, we're letting the pan cool down just a little bit here. If you're not scared of burning yourself, you can do it right away or just let it cool. Get some paper towels and just wipe out the pan. All I did was make grilled cheese, so there's nothing in here that's, nasty, just a little butter. And let it cool off and then put it away, and it's ready for your next use. Now, if your pan was really nasty and maybe your stuff didn't come out with a paper towel, you can take this to the sink. You can go ahead and wash it out with some hot soapy water, or just hot water preferably. I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Okay, so the grilled cheese is eaten and the pan is cooled off, so I'm going to show you how you would clean your pan in the sink if you wanted to use water and maybe some soap. Okay, most of the time, if you need to clean it, you can just use some really hot water and a soft cloth. You never want to use anything scratchy. No Brillo pads or scratchy plastic. Just make sure you clean it kind of quickly. And as soon as you're done, you want to dry it really well with a towel. If you need to, you can use a little bit of soap. I like Dawn because it really cuts the grease. But just don't ever let it sit with soap in it, because that will really eat away at your good seasoning there, and your stuff will start sticking again, and you'll have to start all over with seasoning your pan. So as soon as it's done, you want to dry the pan as well as you can so it doesn't rust. Cast iron rusts pretty easy. Okay, and then you'll want to set it down to dry. You can set it back on your stove, or you can set it in the sink. I use one of these pads here, and that keeps the pan from actually touching the metal, and then you don't have to worry about getting rust spots on your sink. Same thing, if you need to soak it, you wouldn't want to set it down in a porcelain or stainless steel sink, because you'll end up with rust spots where the bottom of your pan has touched the sink and it'll start rusting. So if you need to soak, go ahead and set it on something like this or a trivet or something in the sink. If you have a gas stove, when you're finished drying it, you can bring it over to the stove and set it on, and then just turn on your stove really, really low until it dries. That heat will help to dry it. Some people store the pan actually in the oven, and the pilot light will just, keep things dry. As soon as you're done, if the pan looks a little dry, like here we don't have a really good gloss on it because I used water. Remember when I just wiped it out with a paper towel, it still had a little oil on it. Since I used water for this, I'm going to go ahead and get some olive oil. And you can use any kind of oil you want. A lot of people use vegetable oil. I can't because I'm allergic. So then you can get a paper towel, and you just want to rub your oil around a little bit until you restore that pretty shine and gloss, and that will help to keep your pan seasoned so it's not all dried out. And then you can rub it all over there, and then you have a pan that's nice and ready to use the next time.